Hi, this is Bill Hammond here to talk today about planning for the Alzheimer's patient. On these videos we've talked about how to get the foundation in place so that you and your loved ones are never out of money and out of options. And on today's video I'm going to talk about the question that I get from my clients all the time, which is, can I give my money away? Here's the situation. Let's say that we've got a loved one who has Alzheimer's. The family is struggling to care for him or her, and it gets to the point where, in spite of their best efforts, they just can't do it any longer. They then realize the inevitability of nursing home care. They start to check around. They find out in our area that the cost of nursing home care is, $6,000, $6,500 per month or more sometimes for memory care, Alzheimer's care. They look at that and they think, well, how are we ever going to be able to pay $60,000, $70,000 a year for the cost of care? And they also understand that once the loved one gets spent down, if he or she's in a Kansas nursing home, they get to keep $62 a month. In a Missouri nursing home, $30 a month. They realize that and they think, well, our entire life savings is going away, and my loved one's not going to have anything extra, to care for him or herself. So what do we do in those cases? Inevitably, as soon as they figure that out, they come to see me and they say something like, can I give my money away? It used to be a fairly simple question. It no longer is. Here's why. We had a law change back on February 8 of 2006. Everything that happened before that date is under the old rules, and everything that happened on or after that date is under the new rules. Let's go back to the old rules, before the DRA, before the Deficit Reduction Act was in place. Let's talk about how it used to work, because once you understand how it used to work, then you can understand how it works now. So let's go back to, let's say December of 2005, before the new law was passed. The way it used to work is the state would say that nursing home care cost a certain amount of money, maybe $3,000 a month. Well, what the state then would say is the state would say, if someone makes a gift, if they give their money away, for every 1 month's cost of nursing home care that they give away, they can't apply for Medicaid for a month. Let me give you an example. Let's say the state said the average cost of care was $3,000 a month. Well, what would happen then is if the family gave away $30,000, the state would say to take the $30,000 gift, divide it by the average cost of a nursing home, $3,000. 30,000 divided by 3,000 equals 10, and that would be a 10-month penalty, and here's the key, from the date of the gift. The penalty being they could not apply for Medicaid for the next 10 months. Well, let's say the family still had $50,000 left. They would simply use those funds to private pay while that penalty period was going away. It was a great way to set aside money and to protect some of the life savings of the one who had Alzheimer's. On February 8, 2006, the game changed. President Bush signed the Deficit Reduction Act. Under the new law, everything that happens on or after that date is now subject to the new rules. And here's how it works. Under the new rules, the state now asks, have you given any money away, any property away, in the last 5 years? Before the law was changed, they used to ask in the last 3 years. Now it's 5 years. But then they go a step further. They say, if you've given money away, unless you are in a nursing home and spent down to where your money's almost gone, basically down to the Medicaid limits of $2,000 in Kansas, $999 in Missouri, unless you're already in a nursing home, unless your money is already spent down, and unless you apply for Medicaid, then the gift you gave away still creates a penalty, but the penalty hangs around for that 5-year period. Remember I said before the DRA was passed, the penalty period started right away. We said they made a $30,000 gift. Under the old rules, that might have been a 10-month penalty. The penalty was gone within 10 months. Under the new rules, you'd still get that penalty, but the penalty would not start until you were in a nursing home, spent your money down, and applied for Medicaid. Now, the states have raised what they say the average cost of nursing home care is. And in both of our states, Kansas and Missouri, it's rounded off about $4,000 a month. So you'd now take the amount of the gift, divide it by the $4,000 average cost of care, but the problem is the penalty's going to hang around for 5 years. Well, I know you're probably thinking, Bill, this sounds pretty confusing. What's the bottom line? The bottom line is that lots of times there are still ways to protect monies, even if you already have a loved one in a nursing home. But you certainly need the help of an elder law attorney to walk you through the process. It used to be fairly simple. Now you have to jump through some major hoops. The bottom line, though, and if I can use a rule of thumb for what it's worth, in most cases, with proper planning, you can still probably protect somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 45 to 50 cents on the dollar if you get good legal advice, if you know how to do it. And of course, as I've said throughout these videos, the main thing here is you never want to be out of money and out of options. And by properly setting things up, you will have arranged it so that even if your loved one needs care, he or she will not be out of money and out of options because you've taken the steps you needed to. I want to thank you for tuning into this video on how to care for your loved one, and I look forward to talking with you in future videos. Thank you.